What the fuck am I supposed to analyze? This is the deal right here, bro. This is the deal right here. First of all, Manny Pacquiao looked like he was about 72 years old, man. You know, and Jeff Horn just straight up bullied the fuck out of him. That's the analysis right there. For like the first 7 fucking rounds, literally. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't give Horn 7 straight rounds, of course, but I had to fight a draw at the end of the day. But for like the first 7 rounds though, Horn was bullying the shit out of Manny Pacquiao. See, this is what I try to tell niggas to watch, and this is why this is the reasoning for why I say Daniel Jacobs beat Gennady Golovkin. When you're watching a fight, right? There's a fighter that everyone pretty much knows, right? Even the average boxing fan can tell you what that fighter does in the ring, right? An average boxing fan can tell you, hey, this is that guy's positives, these are this guy's negatives in the ring, right? If he goes into a fight and he's forced to change who he is in that fight because his opponent is not allowing him to do the things that got him successful throughout his career, he's fucking losing. You understand that? That's why Manny Pacquiao lost to Tim Bradley in the first fight. Because Manny Pacquiao was not being the same Manny Pacquiao he was against Miguel Cotto, against David Diaz, against Oscar De La Hoya, against Eric Morales, against Antonio Barrera. He wasn't being that Manny Pacquiao because he couldn't. Because the things that Tim Bradley was doing in the fucking ring, it was making Manny Pacquiao try to make adjustments. And in that process, Manny Pacquiao was getting hit. The same thing here. Jeff Horn was bullying the fuck out of Manny Pacquiao. The one thing I noticed, Manny Pacquiao was on the center line. When have you guys ever known Manny Pacquiao to be on the center line? For you dumb motherfuckers out there, that means he's standing right in front of his opponent. When have y'all ever known Manny Pacquiao to stand directly in front of his opponent for that long in a fight? Okay? Manny Pacquiao is known for jumping around. Yeah. Bouncing in, bouncing out, bouncing to the side, bouncing to the left, bouncing to the right, giving you fucking angles. One of my best punches I like Manny Pacquiao. He dips to the right, and he'll come over the top with that straight left hand. Doesn't look like it's powerful, but it hurts the fuck out of Tim Bradley and a whole lot of other motherfuckers, right? It's because they don't see that left hand coming because he bounces to the right and dips before he throws that motherfucker. I've seen him do that twice in this fight. Twice. Once early, once late. You see what I'm saying? When you got a fighter who has to change his positives in the ring because they're not working, he's fucking losing. You understand? That is boxing 101 when you're analyzing a fucking fight. Okay? Stop punch stats, and for you dumbass niggas out there, man. They got a motherfucking thing on how a fight is judged. Understand? Defense, ring generalship. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. I don't need to name the other two. Y'all supposed to know this. All right? The 4 fucking reasons or what you go off of, the 4 criteria when you judge a fight has nothing to do with fucking CompuBox. CompuBox is not even accessible to the judges. Why? Because it's a little fucking man for each person in the ring pushing a button whenever they feel a punch is landed, which means that human error is involved, which means that the fucking stats are naturally skewed. Understand that, people. Okay? Secondly, punch stat was created purely for fan observation, nigga. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody of importance. The referee don't know CompuBox. The judges don't fucking know CompuBox. The important officials in a fight don't look at CompuBox. So stop posting these stupid ass stats that I could have fucking made up in some type of glorified Photoshop app and put it on fucking Facebook and said Manny Pacquiao landed 117% of his punches and Jeff Horn only landed 2%. Get the fuck out of here. Jeff Horn was beating his niggas ass at the beginning of that motherfucking fight. He was beating his motherfucking ass in the beginning of that fight. Understand, Manny Pacquiao did not look great. Listen what I'm saying, people. I'm not saying he didn't win a round. I'm saying he did not look great until round 9 when he should have stopped him, but he couldn't. Why? Because the things that he does that got him success to where he is today, he couldn't do it against this guy. Get the fuck out of here, man. I had to fight a draw, okay? But Jeff Horn did everything he was supposed to do to win that fight. I have no problem with people saying Pacquiao won by round. I have no problem with people saying Jeff Horn won by round. The motherfuckers I do have a problem with that are talking about 117, 111 for Manny Pacquiao is accurate. 116, 112 for Manny Pacquiao is accurate. No, the fuck it's not. It's not. Just like in the Tim Bradley first fight. Tim Bradley won that fucking fight. I don't give a fuck who's saying that he didn't win it. He won it.
Amen.
Okay? Same thing here. Jeff Horn won the fucking fight. Okay? So it is what it is. Manny Pacquiao didn't do what the fuck he was supposed to do, so now this nigga lost to a C-level fighter, a fighter who will not last past 7 rounds against any of the other top welterweights. Get the fuck out of here, man. I'm done with this shit, man.
What's good? It's your boy 2K here. Woo, shit, I tried to be serious for a second, but I couldn't, man. I got that fuckery for y'all. The top 5 excuses why Manny Pacquiao lost to Jeff Horn last Saturday night. Now, this could have easily been another episode of social media's dumbest boxing posts. I mean, some of the excuses delivered by the fans, some of the most ridiculous, pure, unadulterated fuckery that I've ever heard in my life. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. The fanboyism is real. Now, by the way, if y'all motherfuckers want to use the word fanboyism, I already caught a couple of you cats using it. Your boy is the originator of that word. Get your boy 2K some credit. God damn. Anyway, let's jump right into this shit. Top 5, starting from number 5. Now, the first 2 are going to come from Manny Pacquiao himself. Alright. Number 5. Manny Pacquiao thinks he was set up by Bob Arum and Top Rank. Now, of course, this is due to the scorecards that Manny Pacquiao, Freddie Roach don't agree with. Also, he wants not only the judges but the referee investigated for some of the dirty tactics that Jeff Horn was able to get away with in that fight. Now, first things first, before I get into that, if you haven't heard my opinion on the fight, a clip that I put in the beginning of this video, stop this shit right now, go back and listen to why I said I had Jeff Horn winning this fight 115 to 113. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be able to understand what I'm about to say right now. Jeff Horn is dirty. He was dirty, right? I mean, did Jeff Horn lean on Manny Pacquiao's neck up against the ropes? Yeah. Now, was Manny Pacquiao up against the ropes? Yes. Is Manny Pacquiao normally sitting on the ropes in his fights? No. Okay. Did Jeff Horn headbutt him? Sure. You know what I'm saying? You got Southpaw versus Unorthodox. He headbutted him a couple times. Even made the gash over Manny Pacquiao's eye. Okay. Was Jeff Horn using his forearms? Sure. On the inside. In the clinches? Absolutely. Elbows? Absolutely. That's part of inside fucking fighting. That's what you do on the inside. Okay? Now, the funny thing is this. They're complaining a lot about how Jeff Horn was dirty, the referee didn't do anything. But I just happen to have compiled a list of fighters who were known as great fighters, right? Some of these motherfuckers are going to the Hall of Fame. Some of them are already in the Hall of Fame. Some of the best fighters in boxing history were also dirty and also used some of the same tactics that Jeff Horn used against Manny Pacquiao. I'll start off with a quote by one of the best Cuban fighters out there. He's not the best. Shout out to my man Bo. He probably would have been like, nigga, what the fuck, if I would have said that. But I've always liked Joel Casamayor. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite Cuban fighters. His quote, "Boxing is dirty, period. The day I'm not ready to be a dirty fighter is the day I don't fight because it will mean I have no heart for it anymore." He just told you that he is a dirty fighter. And Joel Casamayor is seen as one of the better fighters of his time, right? You got Bernard Hopkins, a surefire Hall of Famer. right? He leads in with his head constantly. You got Evander Holyfield, in my opinion, the best cruiserweight ever. Surefire Hall of Famer. I think he might already be in a Hall of Fame. Did the same. Led with his head. Watched the Mike Tyson fights 1 and 2. Headbutted the shit out of Mike Tyson the entire motherfucking fight. You know what I'm saying? Henry Armstrong. We're going to go into some old school cats who are already in the fucking Hall of Fame. Henry Armstrong. One of the best lightweights ever. The best lightweight ever in my opinion, right? Known for using his shoulders, his head to gain leverage. You got George Foreman. Used to push motherfuckers all the time. Okay? You got Harry Greb. This motherfucker would hit cats all over the place. Mid-combination, he might hit you in the head, the body, then hit you in the dick. Then he hit you in the thigh, hit you in the leg, hit you in the hamstring. Hamstring is behind you, but he still end up hitting your motherfucking ass there. You know what I'm saying? You got Sandy Sadler, who's known for his wars with Willie Pep. Also, he's known for being dirty in his wars with Willie Pep because of Willie Pep's tricky defensive style. I mean, dirty fighters run in boxing history, okay? Everybody knows that being a successful fighter, you got to be a little dirty. Floyd Mayweather was a little dirty. He constantly used his forearms and elbows, okay? Andre Ward, he's also a little dirty, especially on the inside. When he's on the inside, Andre Ward hitting your motherfucking ass everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So being dirty is something that is a part of boxing. This is boxing. What you're supposed to do, the fighter who feels that a whole bunch of dirty tactics are being done upon him and the referee's not doing anything, the same criticism I have for Sergey Kovalev in his second fight against Andre Ward, you repeat the shit. You reciprocate. You do the same things that your opponent is doing to you back to him. Okay? Or you use your fucking IQ and you learn how to get around it. You stop it from happening. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them get too close to you. Keep them at a distance. Use angles. Something that Manny Pacquiao is excellent at doing, but he didn't really do in this fight. Right? So, get the fuck out of here, dog. Now, one judge did have the fight 117-111. If you're going to investigate anybody, investigate that judge. Because the fight was very close. There was no winner of 9 rounds to 3, in my opinion. As an elite fighter that many people tried to peg Manny Pacquiao out to be. Hell, some motherfuckers have Manny Pacquiao the number 1 pound-for-pound guy in the sport right now. You know what I'm saying? I ran into a couple cats like that. If you're trying to say Manny Pacquiao is an elite fighter, then he has to be elite enough IQ-wise to be able to stop dirty tactics, whether it's to reciprocate or use other techniques to get away from it. Let's go to number 4. Manny Pacquiao states that he was sick. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this shit, man, but this has become a growing trend for Manny Pacquiao, you know what I'm saying, when he loses fights. Now, he's gone back as far as losing to Eric Morales and stating that the reason why he lost to Eric Morales is because he was drug tested before that fight, and basically they drained his blood, and that's what made him tired in that fight. Now, when they do a drug test on you and they drain your blood, it's only a little vial. It's not like 5 quarts of blood that you're giving. You know what I'm saying? This nigga act like he was giving a motherfucking blood transfusion to somebody else. Get the fuck out of here, bro. They took a little ass vial from you before the fight. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to kill your stamina. It's not going to make you tired. It's not going to keep you from doing the things you're supposed to be doing in the ring that got you successful. It's not going to keep you from not being able to adjust to what Eric Morales was doing in the ring. Right? Same thing here. Now, of course, once again, just like with Floyd Mayweather, we didn't know about Manny Pacquiao having any problem with him until after the decision has been read. You know what I'm saying? Against Floyd Mayweather, he said he hurt his shoulder in a training camp. But during the fight, he threw a whole lot of right hands, threw a lot of straight right hands, threw a lot of right hooks. You know what I'm saying? He even used the jab against Floyd. Against Jeff Horn, after the decisions were read, 117-111, and then 2 115-113s, all for Jeff Horn, he states that he's sick. Now, the only thing I gotta say with that shit is this. Maybe this motherfucker should drink some salt water after the fight. Maybe that'll heal your motherfucking illness, just like it healed your shoulder. Get the fuck out of here, Manny Pacquiao. Are you kidding me? let's go to number 3. Now, this is where the real fuckery begins. These last 3 excuses come from Manny Pacquiao fans themselves. Number 3, Bob Arum fixed the fight for Horn to win so he can be the next top-ranked star. Now, let me just say this shit, bro. Number 1, this is the first thing that comes to mind when I think about Bob Arum fixing this fight. If Bob Arum and Top Rank truly fixed this fight, right, then judging by the way Manny Pacquiao fought against Jeff Horn, you have to believe that Manny Pacquiao was a part of the fix, right? What does Manny Pacquiao normally do in his fights when he beats people? When he successfully beats an opponent, what does he normally do? He's giving them a lot of footwork, a lot of flashy footwork, a whole lot of angles, right? He's throwing that straight left hand down the pipe. He even does one of my favorite moves where he dips to the right and he kind of feints with the left hand and he dips to the right and he throws a straight left hand, kind of like an overhand, but it's a straight punch right down the pipe and it splits his opponent's guard. I've seen him do that shit twice in this fight. The majority of his opponents, they don't know where he's going to be, so they're trying to guess where Manny Pacquiao's next move is going to be. They're trying to guess his footwork because he's so fast, he's so light on his feet. I mean, his feet are made out of feathers, so they don't know what's going to happen next. So when he does that dip and he feints, then he shoots the left hand, they almost always get hit by that punch because they're watching his feet, right? Manny Pacquiao didn't do that in this fight. He didn't give that many angles. Manny Pacquiao was sitting up against the ropes, okay? Manny Pacquiao was allowing Jeff Horn to bully him. Manny Pacquiao has fought fighters bigger than Jeff Horn, right? But he allowed him, the C-level Jeff Horn that is, to bully him, to get inside, to do whatever the fuck he wanted in that ring, okay? That's not Manny Pacquiao. Now, we can say, because Manny Pacquiao is 38 years old, we could say that he's old. But why did we not say that just a few months ago, not too long ago, when he fought Jesse Vargas, right? Why did we not say that a year ago when he beat Tim Bradley easily in the third fight, right? He wasn't too old then. He wasn't too old. I think he fought Jesse Vargas 6 or 7 months ago. He wasn't too old there either. He thoroughly beat the shit out of a game young lion in Jesse Vargas. Now, I never was big on Jesse Vargas' skill set. You can go check my older videos on that. I've always said Jesse Vargas is a paper champion. He beat another paper contender in Saddam Ali, somebody who I never thought was a good fighter since the amateurs, but he still beat a young fighter and Jesse Vargas. And to be honest with you, if Jesse Vargas and Jeff Horn fight, I got Jesse Vargas winning that fight. You see what I'm saying? So he wasn't too old when he beat those guys, but all of a sudden, he's just too old for Jeff Horn, regardless of the fact that he looked very good in his training camp. He looked just as good in this training camp as he did against Jesse Vargas. Now, with all that said, the fact that he didn't do what he normally does, right? His normal tendencies in the ring, he didn't do those things. He didn't adjust to the C-level fighter in Jeff Horn, right? Well, you have to say, if you believe that Bob Arum fixed his fight, and that is Manny Pacquiao is also a part of the fix. Or else he would have just went in there and easily beat Jeff Horn. If not knocked him out, he should have beat Jeff Horn 120 to 108, okay? The fight Gabe Rosado saw should have actually happened, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't do that, right? He should have finished him in the 9th round when he had Jeff Horn hurt, had him staggering all over the fucking ring. He should have finished him, but he didn't, right? So if you really believe Bob Arum fixed this fight, then I challenge you to watch the fight, look at the things Manny Pacquiao's not doing, and it would be easy to conclude that Manny Pacquiao would also be a part of this fix. Now, the whole thing about Jeff Horn being the next top-ranked star, let me just tell y'all niggas something right now. Jeff Horn gets knocked the fuck out within 7 rounds by Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia. Tim Bradley beats his ass. All right. Adrian Broner beats him. Lamont Peterson beats him. That's all the top guys at 147. That's all of them. Kell Brook beats him. That's all of them. So if he's going to be the new top star for Top Rank, beating out who's getting ready to be the undisputed champion after August 19th and Terrence Crawford, right? He's going to even be more popular than him. Even though he's probably going to beat Julius Ndongo and be the next undisputed champion at 140 since 2001 when Costa Zoo did it. No, that won't be enough. Jeff Horn is going to be the new guy. Well, if he's going to be the new guy, well, then you have to think that he can beat those 7 guys I just mentioned. Complete bullshit. Complete bullshit. He can't beat any of those motherfuckers. Gets knocked out probably by all 7 of them niggas within 7 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Bob Arum knows this. What he's doing is he's trying to get that Australian money. Bob Arum is just, well, shit, I'm about to sign Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn beats Manny Pacquiao. I'm going to blow his skirt up prior to the fight. This is why he said Jeff Horn is going to be a player at 147. He's blowing Jeff Horn's skirt up, right? Just in case if he does beat Manny Pacquiao, well, then Jeff Horn will sign with Bob Arum. That's why he's continuing to blow Jeff Horn's skirt up after the decision has been read, in the aftermath of the fight, because it's business, people. Damn, he's trying to get Jeff Horn to sign with Top Rank so he can get that Australian money. Now, in my video about this fight, right, kind of the pre-fight prediction, but not really, it was a video where I talked about Manny Pacquiao's prime to avoid the top fighters at 147. I sat there and read off the top 15 ranked fighters in the WBO organization to you guys, right? 12 of the 15 people that I read off, nobody knew who the fuck they were. So that tells you that the rankings are set up for Jeff Horn to make some money in Australia defending the WBO title. So he was going to win either way. It could be Jeff Horn winning or Manny Pacquiao winning. Either way, both fighters are going to make Bob Arum some money. And that's under the assumption that Jeff Horn does sign with Bob Arum in Top Rank, which he probably will. So, come on, man. The next star is obviously Vasyl Lomachenko, and that's only because he's backed by HBO. He's backed by a lot of these dumbass fans out there. And shout out to DBN, he's got his motherfucking Hope insurance. Now, skill-wise and based on accolades, the next star in the Top Rank stable should be Terrence Crawford, but it's going to be Vasyl Lomachenko, man. Come on, man. It's not no motherfucking Jeff Horn. All right? Let's go to number 2. Hold up. Let me read this off to you. Now, on a post on one of the social media sites that I'm on, a guy basically asked, he said, is Manny Pacquiao done? You know, should he retire? Should he be looking to rematch Jeff Horn? Now, my answer to that is Manny Pacquiao should not have anything on his mind except getting a rematch with Jeff Horn. If he's not getting a rematch with Jeff Horn, he needs to retire. As I said in that last video I made about this fight, if he loses to fucking Jeff Horn, it's time to hang him up, dog. You can't beat nobody else in the division. Real talk. So, if he's not trying to rematch Jeff Horn, well, he needs to fucking retire. You know what I'm saying? That's my response to that.
A cat came on the post underneath somebody else who said that Manny Pacquiao was done. And in a nutshell, the motherfucker was trying to relay that we can't judge Manny Pacquiao for being done because Jeff Horn was the bigger fighter. And we have to remember that Manny Pacquiao had to move up in weight from 105 pounds. Yo, are you serious? So he says that the reason why Manny Pacquiao was at a disadvantage against Jeff Horn is because he had to move up from 105 pounds and Jeff Horn is the bigger man. Get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? So we just gonna go ahead and just erase the fact that Manny Pacquiao has been campaigning at 147 pounds for 8 years. His last documented fight below 147 pounds was in 2009 against none other than Miguel Cotto, which ironically is his last documented knockout in a fight. He's had 8 years to get acclimated at 147. Hell, he's fought motherfuckers bigger than Jeff Horn. Okay, he went all the way up to light middleweight to fight Antonio Margarito, who's a hell of a lot bigger than Jeff Horn. You understand? Get the fuck out of here, man. Manny Pacquiao has been fighting bigger guys since he made this rise, you know, becoming a champion in 8 different weight classes. Since he started that rise, starting from fucking David Diaz on up, he's been fighting guys bigger than him. Okay? This motherfucker ain't been at no 105 pounds since I was in fucking middle school. You know what I'm saying? And that was a long ass time ago. So, how the fuck does that become an excuse for why Manny Pacquiao was bullied? It doesn't. And I even told the dude, I said, yo, you would just make better sense if you just made the excuse that Manny Pacquiao was just old. That would make much better sense than saying he had to move up from 105 pounds. You know what I'm saying? And then I also said it makes no sense simply because he's already been at the weight for 8 years, right? But if you tried to use that for Roman Gonzalez, that makes much more sense, right? Roman Gonzalez had to move from 108 to 115, right? And he's only had 2 fights at 115. So if we say, which I do believe, but if we say Roman Gonzalez is too small at 115 and Rung Vasai bullied him because he was too small, that's a valid statement, because Roman Gonzalez is not fully acclimated at 115 pounds with only 2 fights under his belt. Shit, when he fought Rung Vasai, he had only had 1 fight against Carlos Cuadras. That's a fucking valid statement. Not a motherfucker that's had like 13 some odd fights past 140. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit ass excuse. You know what I'm saying? Let's move on to the grand finale. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Number 1. The Australian mob is taking over boxing. I'll repeat it. The Australian mob, that means a bunch of good fellas out there in Australia, are taking over boxing. Yo, I almost fell out of my motherfucking chair while I was reading this. Now, the post on this one, the original post, was about, you know, pretty much along the same lines, but it was more so of, do you think Manny Pacquiao was robbed? Should he retire, or do you think he was robbed? You know what I'm saying? I said he wasn't robbed. Like I said earlier in the video, you know, I had Jeff Horn winning 115, 113. I have no problem, you know, giving the fight to Manny Pacquiao 115, 113, or having a draw. I have absolutely no problem with that. Okay? But I said it wasn't a robbery. Dude comes on and says it was. You know, that's fine, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You don't have your opinion, it is what it is. But the motherfucker tried to say that, according to Shane Mosley, this is how he put it. A couple years ago, Shane Mosley stated that the Australian mob runs boxing in Australia. And he stated that the Australian mob was taking over boxing. That's what this guy mentioned, right? I said, oh yeah. I pulled his casual card. Because if you're just going to say to me a few years ago, Shane Mosley said this, well, then I'm going to respond and tell you exactly when he said it and who he fought when he said it. So I said, oh, yeah, I know what you mean, dog. You talking about when he quit on his stool against Anthony Mundine in Australia, right? You know what I'm saying? An act that this motherfucker himself decided to do. He wasn't persuaded by this Australian mob that you say exists and that he says exists, which it probably does. But that has no fucking bearing on the decision that Shane Mosley made while quitting on his stool, right? The guy comes back in a nutshell and says some shit like, well, you know, he didn't want to get robbed on the cards. That's why he quit on his stool. I said, nigga, he was legitimately losing the fight when he quit on his stool. You know what I'm saying? He was legitimately getting his ass thoroughly beat by Anthony Mundine at the time that he decided to quit. Then the dude comes back talking about, yeah, well, the Australian mob shortchanged him on his money before the fight, so he didn't want to put his all into the fight only to get robbed. I said, well, that's fucking funny, because 2 fights later, Joshua Clottey goes to Australia and beats the motherfucking brakes off of Anthony Mundine in front of this so-called Australian mob, right? Knocks him down like 4 or 5 times en route to a unanimous decision, right? And then 2 fights after that, Charles Hatley, Mr. Amateur, you know what I'm saying, goes to Australia and knocks Anthony Mundine the fuck out in 7 rounds. So it's just kind of funny to me that these 2 guys, you know, after Shane Mosley states that there's an Australian mob, and while you're trying to support this theory, right, for why Shane Mosley quit on his stool, it's funny that these 2 motherfuckers go to Australia and give absolutely no fucks about a goddamn Australian mob entity that is just somehow created and somehow running fucking boxing. Get the fuck out of here. This shit is outrageously stupid, some of this shit motherfuckers say to support their favorite fighters. Take a L, nigga. It's okay. Dog, is Manny Pacquiao paying your rent? Is Manny Pacquiao feeding your children if you have children? Is Manny Pacquiao putting clothes on your motherfucking back? No. Shit, is Manny Pacquiao even employing you? Are you employed by Manny Pacquiao? No, motherfucker. You have no ties to this man. You don't even know who he is. You only know him as a boxer and how he portrays himself to the media, right? But you don't know what this nigga be like behind closed doors. Oh, but I've got some inside information about that. And if I release that information, you probably would call me a motherfucking hater because you're not privy to that information. And you just suck Manny Pacquiao's dick and balls. You put both of them in your mouth at the same time, similar to what Tim Bradley did at the end of their 3rd fight. Hell yeah, I just threw some shade at that motherfucker. Shit is ridiculous, man. Number 1, the Australian mob is taking over boxing. Man, oh man, oh man. YouTube, do what you do in the comment section, man. Let me know what you think about these top 5 excuses for why Manny Pacquiao lost to Jeff Horn, which was a legitimate loss. I made a mistake in the video. I said I had Jeff Horn winning 115-113. I actually had it a draw. That's how I had it. But I had no problem seeing the fight go to Jeff Horn or go to Manny Pacquiao. Let me know what you thought. Do what you do in the comment section. Be real. This is real talk for real fans. 1.